Next up, contestant number 7, Anna. Is social media taking over social lives? Is social media taking over social lives? Anna.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. What do these sites have in common? They allow us to interact and connect and share ideas with everyone around the planet. But however, 10 years ago, you would have asked me, what was Facebook, what was Instagram, what was LinkedIn, MySpace, and Reddit? But not in today's society. Social media, over the past 10 years, has become one of the largest modes of interaction between the average person, organizations, and businesses. So I'm going to provide you with this analogy first. So you sit down to lunch with a good friend, hoping to hear the latest news on what's going on. But instead, your friend's eyes are glued on to his or her iPhone screen. And it is almost as if your every attempt to converse with him or her has been met with a rude disengagement from a device that seems to contain the world in its entirety. So I'm going to ask you, are our digital lives more important than our real ones? It's undeniable. We've got to admit it. We're hooked onto social media. And this trend is not going to go anytime, anywhere soon. But social media can be extremely beneficial, like allowing everyone to be close to relatives and family through online. But where do we draw the line? It's kind of scary to consider. But are we even thinking about what happens to our mental health after we use social media? There will always be every good and bad side to the effects that social media has on us. For example, social media can act as a unifier, bringing together communities and making people more aware of what is going on around them. It is also one of the fastest and most effective ways to understand what is going on in one's social or business circles. Statistics and studies have shown that university students are now joining Facebook group chats to connect with other students online while studying at university. Nowadays, government and political leaders are now able to reach out to people from all walks of life, in which something they would never been able to do without social media. But I have 3 questions to ask you. Is being a member of such sites also having negative effects? Is social media actually taking over our lives? And at what cost are we simplifying our lives by using social media? A shocking 57% of people are talking to online friends more than in real life, which shows that they spend more time at home being glued onto the computer screen rather than going out to find out what is actually going on. However, a more dire 48% of 18 to 34-year-olds are checking their Facebook accounts when they wake up, and 28% of these doing so before they have even gotten out of their beds. There must surely be a reason for every kind of social phenomenon and scenario, and the golden rule of moderation is always to keep in mind. Even social media tools themselves will most likely evolve in the most interesting ways, maybe in the next 10 years, we don't know. But social media exposes the young generation, like us, to news, politics, marketing, and many other topics and issues that they would have never been able to go without social media. But I have something really bad. The most worrying thing is the effect that it has on us, the young generation. It will actually seem in today's society, greater online popularity refers to you being more superior than your peers. Youths are growing up in a self-obsessed world, where if you do not live up to a certain expectation, you're deemed inadequate and also promotes unnecessary self-criticism. We have no idea how we have actually come to this point, where we are so immersed in a virtual existence and craving attention from people that we've never spoken to. Because, in my opinion, there are more concerns out there in the world rather than having to be glued on to a computer screen all the time. But I can agree to an extent that social media can be a positive platform, especially connecting and sharing ideas with everyone around the planet. But when it begins to rule over our lives and daily activities, it's actually going one step too far. So it's really sad to see what the world has come to. And the question is it really worth it or is it not? Thank you.